Hello and welcome to the viewers of this video. This is the Orange Fan here, bringing you another entry for the episode Recap and Thoughts category. This video will be dedicated to the B segment of episode 20 of Codename Kids Next Door, Operation Fugitive. We begin this segment with number 58 and number 59 contacting the Kids Next Door Moonbase headquarters to inform the operatives on the Moonbase that they're about to arrive with a Kids Next Door operative who is now 13 years old and therefore about to be decommissioned. Number 274 answers the message and he welcomes number 58 and number 59 to the Moonbase. Number 58 notices, though, that number 206, the operative who's scheduled for decommissioning, has been awfully quiet as of the trip to the Moonbase. So number 59 decides to go check on number 206. And number 59 notices that number 206 is messing with some wires or circuitry, which causes the spacecraft to crash land on a beach of some kind. Eventually, the Sector V operatives arrive in a flying vehicle known as the Scamper, and they arrive on the beach that the spacecraft has crash landed on. Number 1 wants to investigate the wreckage right away, but the rest of the Sector V operatives want to have fun on the beach instead, much to number 1's frustrations. Number 1 is actually very frustrated to the point where he starts to go on a sarcastic rant about how they should forget about the mission and just have some fun instead. And during number 1's sarcastic rant, another flying vehicle arrives, and a single Kids Next Door operative emerges from this flying vehicle. The operative is wearing a green shirt, an orange skirt, and a helmet with the number 86 on the helmet. So, as you can imagine, this Kids Next Door operative is number 86. And number 86 overhears some of number 1's sarcastic rant, but she doesn't seem to realize that number 1 is being sarcastic because she responds to the rant in a rather angry manner. And number 1 is notably nervous when he realizes that number 86 has arrived. Number 86 establishes for us, the viewers, that she has a rather strong dislike towards boys. She shows this not only by the way she acts around number 1, number 2, and number 4, but when the other Kids Next Door operatives present are able to find number 58 and number 59 in the wreckage of the spacecraft, number 86 is rather concerned about number 58's well-being, but doesn't show much concern for number 59's well-being, going as far as to even accuse number 59 of being the one at fault for the spacecraft crashing. And number 86 also orders number 1 to stay put, and we notice that she's rather irritated when number 2 starts to bite his nails when he's nervous. Number 2 bites his nails as a nervous habit, and number 86 is very quick to get number 2 to not bite his nails. But while this is going on, number 206 managed to sneak out of the wreckage without any of the other operatives noticing, and he steals number 86's flying vehicle to escape. And number 86 questions why number 1 didn't try to stop him, and number 1 pointed out that number 86 ordered him to stay put. But number 86 blows off this point and goes into the Scamper to chase after number 206. And when she realizes, because number 2 is the pilot, the rest of the Sector V operatives do go into the Scamper to help chase after number 206. So while they're chasing after number 206, number 86 and the Sector V operatives eventually realize that number 206 is heading for the delightful children from down the lane's mansion. And number 86 brings up that number 206 is aware of the fact that the kids next door's top spy is supposed to be infiltrating the mansion very soon to gather information from the delightful children. So they're worried that number 206 might try to tip the delightful children off about the top spy's eventual arrival. And number 4 is trying to get a lock onto the vehicle that number 206 is. Number 4 is trying to get a lock on the vehicle that number 206 is piloting right now so that they can shoot down the vehicle so number 206 won't reach the delightful children's mansion. And number 86 orders number 4 to take the shot right now, but number 4 points out that he isn't locked on yet, which could be potentially problematic. But number 86 blows off number 4's concern and hits the missile launching button anyway. And so the missile does hit the vehicle, but one of the pieces of the vehicle ends up flying towards the scamper and hitting the scamper, thus causing it to crash as well. And number 206 still crashed close enough to the delightful children's mansion that he's able to reach the mansion without any difficulty anyway. Number 86 orders number 1, number 2, and number 4 to guard a dandelion, and she decides to have herself, number 3, and number 5 chase after number 206 in the delightful children's mansion. So number 3, number 5, and number 86 do see number 206 sneaking into the delightful children's mansion, and then they follow after him. And then they each split up to cover different parts of the mansion to try and find number 206. And while that's happening, we see number 4 is actually being very diligent about guarding the dandelion. And number 2 questions why they have to listen to number 86's orders anyway. Number 1 points out that number 86 outranks them due to the fact that she's the head of decommissioning. But number 2 points out that they're just as skilled as number 86 is, and this inspires number 1 to ignore number 86's orders, and they'll try and catch the fugitive themselves to prove that they are just as skilled. So they go off to the delightful children's mansion anyway, and number 4 notably brings the dandelion with him to continue guarding it. So back in the delightful children's mansion, number 86 eventually finds number 206 in one of the hallways, and she is able to fight him for a while. Number 86 and number 206 fight each other for a while, and number 86 knocks number 206 out, or at least subdues him for a moment. But the hallway happens to be near a bathroom, and the delightful children emerge from the bathroom. Yes, they were all in the bathroom together, and they're questioning what's going on here. Number 86 is quick to demand that the delightful children present their hands so that they're within number 86's line of sight to make sure that they don't try to pull anything. But the delightful children are notably nervous about something, but number 86 repeats her demands that they place their hands within her line of sight. And so they begrudgingly do so, and one of the delightful children is holding a jar in their hands. And number 86, you can hear her voice waver when she questions what's in the jar. It turns out the jar is a toenail collection. Yes, the delightful children collect their toenails, or they save their toenails and put them in a jar for a collection. Number 86 is rather disgusted by this and voices her sentiments about how disgusting the toenail collection is. The delightful children, though, insist that it's not disgusting, it's just a hobby they do. But they say hobby in a rather sinister manner as they're walking closer to number 86, but she demands that they not get any closer to her with the jar of toenails. But while number 86 is distracted by the toenail jar, number 206 regains consciousness, or at least gets his bearings back, and he takes a chance to knock number 86 into the Delightful Children. And this causes the Delightful Children to drop the jar. The jar gets flung in the air when they lose their hold of it, and then the jar crashes down on the floor, and number 86 and the Delightful Children are covered in toenails. Number 86 is disgusted by this, and she's demanding that to get the toenails off of her, or she's trying to get them off while she's running around in a panicked state, while the Delightful Children are simply trying to recollect the toenails. And number 206 takes his chance to escape while this is going on. Number 3 and number 5 hear number 86's startled screams, and they rush to her aid, and they certainly sympathize with number 86 when they see the toenails all over the place. As for the Delightful Children's reaction to seeing 2 of the Sector V operatives present, they just want their help in recollecting their toenails. So we then see a different hallway, and number 206 runs down this hallway, but then suddenly a different person runs the opposite direction of where number 206 ran. And this operative is in an outfit similar to number 206, but has a different voice. You can tell the difference between number 206 and this other operative because of their voice. They're not actually talking, but you can hear them make vocal sounds. Number 206 has a male voice, while this operative has a female voice. So when this other operative arrives near a door, number 1, number 2, and number 4 open the door, and they end up knocking out this other operative. And like I said earlier, number 4 is still carrying the dandelion around. And number 1, number 2, and number 4 see the operative on the ground, but they think the operative is number 206. So they tie the operative up, and when number 3, number 5, and number 86 arrive in the room that number 1, number 2, and number 4 are in, number 1, number 2, and number 4 show that they've captured who they believe is number 206. But number 86 is baffled about this, number 86 refuses to acknowledge that they were able to capture who they believe to be number 206. And number 4 points out that the dandelion's protected, but number 86 doesn't care about that, naturally. And number 86 decides to claim the credit for herself regarding the alleged capture of number 206. Even though number 5 points out that all of them work together on this, number 86 offers to give number 3 and number 5 credit for the alleged capture of number 206. But number 5 says number 86 can keep the credit for herself, and number 86 is all too happy to claim all the credit for herself. So number 86 calls another vehicle, and she takes off with the operative that's believed to be number 206. So number 86 returns to the moon base, and she presents the captured operative to number 274 and a couple of other Kids Next Door operatives. And number 86 talks about how number 362 will be proud of this accomplishment. And while number 86 is thinking about this, though, number 274 is trying to get number 86's attention. And when she finally pays attention to what number 274 is trying to say, he simply points somewhere. And number 86 sees that the operative that was believed to be number 206 was actually number 362. And the segment ends with number 362 angrily chewing number 86 out for compromising her mission to investigate the Delightful Children's mansion, because number 362 is the top spy of the Kids Next Door. So this segment introduces us to two major non-Sector V operatives of the Kids Next Door, number 86 and number 362. But in this particular segment, number 362 only appeared around the end of the segment. It won't be until her next appearance. That's right, this is... Yes, from what I recall, this is number 362's only Season 2 appearance. She'll return in Season 3, and it's in Season 3 when number 362 will have a more prevalent role, or she'll have a much more major role starting in Season 3. But this is our introduction to number 362. But besides number 362, this segment is also the introduction of number 86. And yes, number 86 is the head of decommissioning, as number 1 commented earlier in the segment, or near the middle of or end of the segment. Yeah, number 1 told number 2 that number 86 outranks them because she's the head of decommissioning. And this actually fits with her designated number, or her code name in the Kids Next Door, because 86, or yeah, being 86th is a slang term, at least in the United States, that means getting fired. And you could say, yeah, that being decommissioned is like an equivalent to being fired from the Kids Next Door. So, yeah, number 86's designated number actually is significant with her position in the organization, the head of decommissioning. And as for number 86 herself, yeah, she could be considered a base-breaking character, or at least her first appearance. Yes, her first appearance in this segment, at least from my experiences, a lot of viewers did not have a very flattering first impression of number 86. She definitely or a lot of people were very soured by their first impression of her, because number 86 was certainly not a pleasant individual in this segment, having a rather strong dislike towards the male operatives and showing a bit of a never my fault mentality, although some fans did think it was satisfying how number 86 kind of paid the consequences for her less flattering behavior when number 362, the operative that number 86 held in high regard, chewed number 86 out for what happened during the segment. And I should mention, number 86 does... we do get to see more admirable qualities of number 86 later on in the series. Like, this is probably number 86 on her worst days, because later segments do portray number 86 as having kinder moments, moments of kindness and her more flattering qualities. Yes, because in this segment, number 86 comes out. Yeah, number 86 comes off as just a very unlikable jerk in this particular segment, but later segments do portray number 86 more as a jerk with a heart of gold. Yes, she still is needlessly belligerent, but yes, she does have virtues, and she still is one of the Kids Next Door operatives who's trying to fight against adult tyranny. So you could say, on her best days, number 86 could be considered an example of good is not nice. Like, she's definitely she's on the side of good as a Kids Next Door operative, but she's certainly not the nicest of individuals, not someone that you'd probably want to hang out with for fun. So yeah, number 86 will be shown in a better light in later segments. And going along with her being portrayed more, while this segment portrays her having more of a dislike towards boys, her later appearances do show her just acting like a jerk to everyone. So, but like I said, later segments do portray her more as a jerk with a heart of gold, compared to her portrayal here, where she comes off as more of just an outright unlikable jerk. Now, and I guess I might as well mention, Tom Warburton had commented on some details about this segment on his blog posts that relate to number 86. In one of his blog posts, Tom Warburton explained that the original design that he came up with for number 86 ended up resembling an ex-girlfriend of his, although the ex-girlfriend's personality, according to Tom Warburton, was nothing like number 86's personality, so he ended up changing number 86's design to make sure that didn't because of him realizing the resemblance, he changed it. So it was this redesign was what led to number 86's design as we know her in the show, as an Irish girl with red hair. And what happened, though, with number 86's current design that she ended up having in the show, some other executives at Cartoon Network thought that the design reminded them, they thought the design resembled a certain executive at Cartoon Network at the time, and they insisted that Tom Warburton should change the design. But Tom Warburton pointed out that the executive doesn't have red hair and isn't of Irish ancestry like number 86's, but they still insisted that he change the design. So one day, this particular executive actually paid the studio a visit, and Tom Warburton actually showed number 86's design to the executive and questioned if the design reminded her of anyone. And the executive actually did think that number 86's design reminded her of herself. And Tom Warburton did admit that number 86 wasn't the nicest of characters when he was explaining the character to the executive. But apparently the executive actually told Tom Warburton to keep the personality the same. So, that was a little behind-the-scenes detail that Tom Warburton had shared on one of his blog posts. So, just a little trivia for anyone who was interested about number 86. So, otherwise, there we go for now. So, this segment introduced us, like I said, to two major non-Sector V operatives. Number 86 was the one who got the most focus, but number 362 was also introduced, even though it won't be until season 3 when she begins to play a more major role in the series. And yes, number 274 made a return as well. And although it's not explicitly stated in the segment, this is the segment that shows number 274 as the supreme leader or the supreme commander of the Kids Next Door organization. So otherwise, I believe that's about it for now. So there we go. So as of this video, we've now discussed the B segment of episode 20 of Codename Kids Next Door on this channel. Take care, and until next time.